Welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is away on a family holiday for a few days. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Here are some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight, Wednesday, January 21st. The state of Washington is asking the U.S. government for disaster relief after December's devastating storms and flooding. Chelan County stands to be one of the aid recipients. And Grant County's aging courthouse in Ephrata is long due for an upgrade. The county's Central Services Office says there's now some money on hand for just those purposes. And today's weather continued that overcast gloom and cold we've been seeing ever since the thermal inversion settled over most of the Wenatchee Valley. With Grant taking some time off, Dan Kuntz will be along a little later in this half hour to let us know if anything's going to change. But right now, here's our top story of the evening. East Wenatchee police say they've made 2 arrests in the theft of newly delivered Amazon packages from a residential front porch. The deliveries were reported stolen about 2:48 p.m. yesterday from a home in the 400 block of 6th Street Northeast, with a security camera capturing images of the 2 alleged thieves and their vehicle. With that information in hand, the investigating patrol officer spotted the suspect vehicle a few hours later, traveling in the 200 block of Simon Street, not very far from police headquarters. A 39-year-old man and a 29-year-old woman, both from East Wenatchee, were booked on pending charges of third-degree theft, and their vehicle was impounded for a search to recover the packages. Chelan County is now among the Washington counties in line for federal disaster assistance following December's atmospheric river events. The storms, which began December 5th and raged for 18 days, damaged nearly 4,000 homes across the state and caused millions of dollars in property and infrastructure damage, including the erosion of Highway 2 outside Leavenworth and the destruction of roadways and water treatment facilities in Stehekin. Governor Bob Ferguson yesterday asked the Trump administration to declare a major disaster for 10 counties and 15 tribal communities in the state. If approved, the declaration would make Chelan County among those eligible for the Individual Assistance Program through FEMA. Among other things, that could allow people and businesses to receive federal aid if they've suffered damage beyond their means to repair. The state of Washington itself has already provided nearly $1 million in direct aid to more than 2,600 households. Former Eastmont School Board member Jason Hines was ordered Tuesday to have no contact with the family members and loved ones he's accused of stalking and abusing. The 46-year-old Hines, who resigned from the school board last week, had his first appearance in Douglas County Court on felony criminal charges including third-degree rape, domestic violence, extortion, and witness intimidation. Judge Brian Huber allowed him to remain free without bail, but ordered Hines to stay away from his ex-wife and former girlfriend, as well as one of his teenage daughters, all of whom are alleged victims in the case. He's due to be formally arraigned on those charges tomorrow. Hines is also facing misdemeanor charges of assault and stalking in Chelan County involving the same family members. The Eastmont School Board is now seeking a resident from the district to fill his vacant seat, with applications due by January 26th. A state representative from Quincy defended the Office of Immigration and Customs Enforcement last week in a hearing on a Washington bill that would govern access to workplaces for immigration agents. House Bill 2105 requires employers to notify their workers within 72 hours when they're warned of an immigration inspection, and prohibits employers from allowing Homeland Security to inspect most records without a judicial warrant or subpoena. ICE has become a controversial agency under the Trump administration, particularly after the January 7th shooting of Renee Good, a motorist killed by an ICE officer in Minneapolis. In a committee hearing Friday over House Bill 2105, State Representative Alex Ibarra, a Republican from the 13th District, argued with its sponsor Lillian Ortiz-Self of Mukilteo.
I'm going to be voting no on this particular bill. This kind of stuff has been happening since the 40s. I've been stopped by ICE. I didn't get handcuffed. I didn't get shot. I didn't get put on a bus and taken back to Mexico. What they asked me was, where was I born? I was born in Quincy, Washington. And they said, okay, you're great. You can go. And it's been happening forever. It's happened to me twice. It's happened to my family. It's happened to my neighbors. I asked my friends about this particular bill, and they did not like it. They want ICE is there for a reason. to take the folks that broke the federal law, not the state law.
I'm so glad that you were not handcuffed and sent to Mexico. But you know what? I have a person in a high school in a district not far from me that was taken away who's here legally. I have a Puerto Rican mom and her grandmother that were stopped, and because they didn't have their passports, spent a week and a half in detention without their families knowing where they were. That was in our neighborhoods. The abuses continue, and they don't have to.
When we come back, a new cooperative effort aims to tackle food insecurity in the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant County's courthouse in Ephrata is long due for an upgrade, and the county's Central Services Office now says there's money in the pot for just that. The U.S. Department of Justice has awarded a $1.5 million grant to the county's judicial offices to create just one main entrance point for the courthouse, its annex, and the County Law and Justice Building. The entry would be built on what is now an open-air breezeway between those three buildings in the county complex. Money from the grant would also be used to purchase security equipment, including metal detectors and X-ray bag scanners. Chelan County's courthouse underwent a similar improvement in 2023. A new regional initiative aims to strengthen food systems and address food access challenges in north central Washington. The NCW Food Council is a cross-sector collaborative to unite the Colville Confederated Tribes with regional nonprofits, agencies, and community leaders. The council was formed through a partnership between Thriving Together NCW and Okanagan County-based nonprofit Blue Sky Mines, which focuses on sustainable food systems. The organizations estimate nearly 300,000 community members in north central Washington and the Colville Reservation would be positively impacted by its goals. The initiative aims to improve collaboration across sectors, share resources, and create an annual in-person gathering. Ballots for the February special election are either on their way or already on your kitchen table tonight. The main election issue for both Chelan and Douglas counties is the Rivercom sales tax proposal, which aims to add 0.1% to local sales tax to help improve emergency dispatching. Rivercom wants to add new radio towers to help communicate with police, fire, and aid services in dead zones such as Blewett Pass, Lake Wenatchee, and remote corners of Douglas County. If approved, the tax would also pay for renovating a new operations center, which Rivercom purchased last month. The agency is holding public information sessions about the tax proposal on Monday at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and February 2nd at the Douglas County Administration Building in East Wenatchee. The last day to cast your vote is February 10th. Well, coming up next, a Kashmir elementary school is celebrating a national honor for academic achievement. NCWLIFE dropped by the school to absorb some of that positive energy. Dan Kuntz will be back on your screen with the weather outlook, so brace yourselves. That's followed by Eric Granstrom with all the day's sports action as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The winter prep sports season is here, and NCWLIFE Channel has you covered. Follow the Eastmont Wildcats and Wenatchee Panthers right here. Coverage brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Valley Tractor. Follow the action all winter long on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
What do you think of that?
Pretty big, I like it.
Watch for new episodes of the Northwest Outdoorsman on the NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Vale Elementary School in Kashmir held a special assembly for its students yesterday to announce the school had earned national honors. Vale is one of the 63 schools around the country to be named a 2025 National ESEA Distinguished School. The award is presented to schools who've had success in closing the achievement gap, reached excellence in serving special populations, or shown exceptional student performance and academic growth. Vale won in that last category. State data shows 87% of Vale students were at or above foundational grade level knowledge in English language arts and 89% in math last spring. NCWLIFE spoke with school leaders Sean McKenna and Rhett Morgan to learn more about what's contributed to the school's success.
Our community rallies around our school system. I think our award could easily be passed to the middle school and the high school level as well. They're phenomenal middle schools and high schools. But I believe it really centers on the community, has high expectations for our students behaviorally, academically, in the arts. There's high expectations, and our staff carries that to the classroom. They carry it to the bus every single morning, or to the recess playground, or to our front office. So I think it's just so much bigger than the classroom teachers only. I think it's just a huge community working together to see kids succeed. I feel like we've been high performing for quite a few years. Before I was here, we were a high performing school. It's just nice to actually get recognized, not to mention recognized on the national level amongst so many schools that are great.
Here at Vale, I just feel like we have this connection between the community, between all three buildings in our district, our school board, our superintendent. It feels like everyone is just moving in the same direction. So I just felt like humbled that our system was able to achieve at such a high level.
We're constantly looking for ways to improve. Specifically in math, our math scores have steadily increased over the last I can speak for the last 14 years, and it comes from a model of instruction where our intervention teachers are actually our gen ed teachers. With the support of our school board and Glenn Johnson, our superintendent, we have specialists or electives that far exceed a traditional elementary school in our offerings, which allows our teachers to have small group interventions going 3 times a week for all students that aren't meeting full expectations in our math.
We have a pretty unique schedule here that allows our students to have a designated intervention block where all students can get exactly what they need. But also we have blended different methods of reading instruction, and we don't just live in one camp of reading instruction. We blend what's best in literacy instruction together, and our teachers are very skilled in doing that, and they through professional development and just experience. And so I feel like that really has sustained growth and achievement over time. We recovered from COVID much quicker than most schools in our region and around the state. And I believe it was just us with the attitude of let's just get back to business. Let's get back to what used to work before distance learning, before COVID, before the pandemic, and our teachers were ready for that, and we just dove in. And so we just went back to what we knew worked, and we didn't hesitate on that. And I think that's why, our scores rebounded quickly, and then we've been able to sustain that growth over time. Everyone here pushes for that next level. And as far as professional development goes, for the most part, we really come together on that, and we really work together, and we're always willing to get better. And I see that in our teachers. They work well before school, they stay late after school. They know that they can always do something more to tweak their instruction or reach that next kid. And I think that's what gets us such great results, is the heart of our teachers and classified staff.
Hello, weather fans. Good Wednesday to you. Dan Coombs filling in for Grant Olson. I'll be with you for the rest of the week to take a look at what Mother Nature has in store for us. Another gray, cloudy day. That little sunbreak that we had on Tuesday afternoon was welcome. Didn't happen today, but we'll see some sunshine come weekend, and I'll tell you why here in just a little bit as we look at our Wenatchee Heights camera. Not much temperature variation between the high and the low. We got down to 30 degrees, and we stayed at 30 for almost the entire day today. We kicked up to about 33 much later on in the day. But the one thing I do want to point out as you look at our almanac is that we're gaining over 2 minutes of daylight every day. The only difference is it's daylight, not sunshine. If you think about it, kind of a big difference there. But typical January weather. We're on day 7 now of this inversion layer, but it's finally going to be lifting. And again, I'll tell you why and how in just a couple of minutes. 34s all over the place for your Thursday, with one exception. Look up in OMAC, because OMAC, unlike the rest of us, going to see quite a bit of sunshine on Thursday. They're going to see more sunshine than clouds. So OMAC, you're going to be a couple of degrees warmer tomorrow than the rest of us, because you're going to get more radiant sunshine and longer days than the rest of us up in OMAC. Everybody else will be stuck in the mid-30s to the lower 30s in those areas prone to cooler temperatures. So this air inversion layer and the stagnant air and the clouds and the fog, a couple of things you may have noticed. For one thing, the clouds are much higher in elevation. They're closer to 4,000 or even 5,000 feet instead of way down on the valley floor. And that is why we've had what we've had. No sunshine in the mountains today, too. They were stuck in clouds, too. Usually you go up above this stuff and you're fine. One more day of this gunk, and that's going to be on Thursday, late in the day Thursday into Thursday night. Two things going to happen. For one thing, the big ridge of high pressure is going to move back out over the Pacific Ocean to the point where we're going to be on the very edge of it. And number two, that big ridge of high pressure, which has been giving us all this gunky weather, is going to start breaking down. That means by Friday, sunshine, baby. Bring it on. Now, the overnight lows are going to be pretty cold, in the lower 20s anyway, by the time we get to the weekend, because we won't have that cloud cover to keep that radiant heat trapped in the overnight hours. But we'll take sunshine any day of the week after all of this kind of gray, cloudy, monotonous weather. It's typical of January. That's going to change on Friday. It's going to be nice on Saturday and on Sunday. You're looking for rain, or you're looking, more importantly, for snow, because we need snow in the mountains, and we need it bad. It's a very bad year for the snowpack. Ain't going to happen. There's simply no precipitation at all, lower elevations, upper elevations, or anything in between. So if you're a big fan of heavy snow for you skiers, you're just going to have to wait hasn't happened yet. This has been a very, very dry January, been a dry year, but of course the year just started in January. A couple of clouds perhaps on Monday, an outside chance of some light precipitation. It's a little too far out in advance for the computer models to take a hold of. But again, the big weather story, we got one more day of this tomorrow. By late in the day on Thursday, the high pressure ridge moves way out over the Pacific Ocean. It finally leaves our area. It allows weak systems to come in, but the most important thing, it's going to scour out the skies, and we're going to see bountiful sunshine by the time we get to Friday afternoon. Bring it on. Your forecast brought to you by our friends at Colonial Vista, where comfort, care, and community come together. Well, one more day of it today and then tomorrow, and we'll be stuck in the gunk. But again, by Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, the ridge of high pressure goes farther out enough into the Pacific Ocean that will flatten out as well. And here comes sunshine Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Temperatures very consistent. Mid-30s for the afternoon highs, lower to mid-20s for the overnight lows. But we'll take the sunshine. Temperatures, both lows and highs, just about where it should be this time of the year. But we can say goodbye to the inversion and the clouds and the danky stuff. Good news indeed. Coming up next, our good buddy Eric Granstrom with a whole bunch of sports. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Happy hump day to you. The Kraken are back at it, trying to snap a four-game losing streak in NHL play tonight. The New York Islanders are in Seattle to face off. That'll be at 6:30 on TNT and True TV, so a national television audience for that one. After a 1-4 road trip last week, Kraken lost the first of 6 consecutive games at home Monday, 6-3 to Pittsburgh. After tonight, Anaheim comes to town on Friday, New Jersey on Sunday, and Washington and Toronto coming up next week. Well, as the Seahawks prepare for the NFC Championship at Lumen Field this week, the players and coaches trying to keep it simple. The approach each week for the organization is what's in front of them, and that's all. This week, it's the Los Angeles Rams. Even though Seattle beat the Rams in a miraculous comeback in overtime back on December 18th, not one person is using that game as a measure of what to expect on Sunday. We'll hear from Coach Mike McDonald and quarterback Sam Darnold tomorrow here on the NCWLIFE channel. Kickoff, by the way, Sunday set for 3:30. That'll be on Fox. Eastmont wrapped up the regular season Big 9 bowling title with a win over Davis yesterday. The Wildcats topped Davis 3-1 behind an incredible game from Natalie Navarro. She rolled a match-high 245. Eastmont will get to host the district meet next Friday at Eastmont Lanes. Moses Lake will be one of those competing in the tournament after a 3-1 win over Sunnyside yesterday. Wenatchee will be there on Friday, too. They lost a non-league match to Sela 3-1. Riley Scott was the high roller for the day for the Panthers with a 196 and a 197. There was one prep wrestling match last night in the region. Chelan beat neighboring Manson 60-24. Schedule resumes for local teams coming up tomorrow. Okanagan, Cashmere, and Chelan were among the winners in prep boys basketball last night. The Bulldogs from up north beat Ephrata in non-league action 79-32. Cashmere clocked Cleellum 80-48. Chelan beat Brewster 78-48. In other action, Liberty Bell cruised by Cascade 83-42. Lake Roosevelt top Manson 64-56. Tedasket beat Bridgeport 68-61. Moses Lake Christian down LaSalle 80-68. Antioch pounded Patero 73-29. Highland defended its home court with a win over Soap Lake 50-39. Girls basketball last night, Okanagan down to Freda 47-30. Cle got by Cashmere 49-38. Cascade beat Liberty Bell 73-42. Lake Roosevelt rolled Manson 57-20. Tedasket topped Bridgeport 41-30. Pateros peppered Antioch 72-20. Moses Lake Christian crushed LaSalle 72-12, and Soap Lake stopped Highland 43-25. The Wenatchee girls will try their luck against the 4th-ranked Davis Pirates in Big 9 basketball Friday at Wenatchee High School. I'll be courtside with your play-by-play beginning at 5:30. That'll be followed by the Davis Wenatchee boys at 7 o'clock. The 1-4 Panthers have a chance to gain a little ground on the 2-3 Pirates. You can watch it on TV as well as all of our streaming devices. Wenatchee skier Jack Mitchell was able to podium again over the weekend in ski cross. The ski racer from our valley was able to capture silver in the Europa Cup race and bronze in the FIS race. That was in Lenk, Switzerland. So far this month, Mitchell has added 4 medals to his count in competition. Congratulations, Jack. As the Wenatchee Wild prepare for a couple of home games this weekend, we're leaning on broadcaster Austin Droughty to prep us for the games. We heard about Kamloops yesterday. Today, Droughty says the Wild will face some tough skaters with Tri-City on Saturday.
I think when you talk about rookies, I think Xavier Wendt is probably one of the dark horses for Rookie of the Year. You look at J.P. Hurlburt in the scoring lead, but Xavier Wendt has done such a great job of keeping his team in close games, and he's won some close games for this Tri-City team. So I think for them it starts with the goaltending, it starts with the defense, like you said, and they've got a goaltender back there that can win some games for them, and he might be the other guy in the battle right now for that Rookie of the Year honor at the end of the season.
Droughty says Saturday's game will be preceded by the annual Guns and Hoses matchup, which normally sells out.
Friday, most of the promotions are happening on Saturday, but Friday's our Olympic going for the gold night. So we've got some of the youth sports teams in the building that weren't able to make it to the game this past Sunday, and I think there were even a couple of teams that came to the game on Sunday and wanted to be part of this one as well. So some of those youth teams around the valley, we'll have them back in the building again on Friday night, and we'll be wearing those special jerseys that we'll be auctioning off after the game on Saturday. Saturday is one of our biggest games every single year. It's Guns and Hoses night, so the doors open at 3:30 for that one. The cops and firefighters from around the valley take the ice at 4 o'clock, and it's always an entertaining game. The crowd was fantastic last year. I think we had over 1,000 in the building last year for the cops and firefighters. Last year, I remember walking around the building about 3:15 or so. The door hadn't opened up yet, and there was literally a line all the way to the back of the Weinstein rink for people waiting to get into the game to see the police and the firefighters play at 4. So it'll be a great crowd on Saturday. Our game starts at 6. We'll give away the youth jerseys as we always do to the first 1,000, and we'll do the auction during and after the game. We'll have 6 live auctions after the game. Everything else is a blind bid silent auction at the guest services table. Great jerseys this year. I've gotten a look at them so far, and they're going to be worth putting a bid in on. So 6 o'clock game time on Saturday. Get your tickets now. This game is sold out before. I wouldn't be surprised to do it again.
For tickets to either Friday or Saturday, be sure and head online to WenatcheeWildHockey.com. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
And that will do it for this Tuesday evening edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, we want you to let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call, 888-6295. Our channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Thanks a lot for being with us. We'll see you here tomorrow night.